Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's Thomas BAZ'S with the Poet Warriors coming back at you. And let's talk about the 10 film performances, the top 10 film performances of the BAZ'S top 10 film performances that have left a impression on me and inspired me to this day, and I think you may want to check out if you don't know it already. And they're not in any particular order. It's not like number 10 and the number 1. These are all just, I think, the 10 best. And we'll go ahead and tackle that. So number 1, we'll start with The Revenant. Leonardo DiCaprio's performance in the Inarritu, the Mexican director, who also directed, by the way, a great film, if you ever get a chance to see it. It's called Amores Perez, and that one is a fantastic film. That's how I heard about Inarritu. Anyway, I consider The Revenant one of the top 10, 15, one of the top films of the top of all time, but especially in the last 10, 15 years. Just beautifully shot. What an amazing story. What an amazing feat of filmmaking. And DiCaprio, who I am not a fan of, by the way. I don't think DiCaprio is a great actor, but in this film, he was definitely rose to the challenge, and he didn't say much. It was 80% of his work was nonverbal. It was physical. It's a film about survival, about revenge, and filming it on location up there in the Yukon Territory or wherever they did. You saw DiCaprio in misery, struggling, I'm sure, right, in these elements, and it translated into his performance, which I thought was an astounding physical. He captured the essence, along with Inarritu, of course, the collaboration of this man's journey at revenge, retribution, whatever you want to call it. It is a great film. This is one of the great performances captured on film. The Revenant, Leonardo DiCaprio. Number 2, Blue Jasmine. Cate Blanchett. Wow, Woody Allen film. Great filmmaker, great actor. Cate Blanchett, stage and film. She is one of the titans, one of the great actors, character actors. I know she's considered a movie star, but I consider one of the great character actors. The range, when you think of, like, for example, The Aviator, and she played, Katharine Hepburn. And you look at Blue Jasmine, this woman who is just on the edge, like on the razor thin edge of falling apart, the anxiety, the highs and lows, the emotional turmoil of this character that she plays in this film. Just absolutely you talk about nuance. You talk about great instinctual work. And I think I've heard actors applauding Woody Allen because he gives a lot of actors this kind of improvisatory freedom, and I think you saw it in this performance. Cate Blanchett, Blue Jasmine, Woody Allen film. Wow, amazing work. Number 3, There Will Be Blood. Daniel Day-Lewis. He played the character of Daniel Plainview, one of the great films of all time. One of the great films of the 21st century, one of the titanic performances. Again, a lot of the film, you see Plainview, you see the nuance, the subtlety, the volcanic intensity that is kind of captured. Never been, early on when I was training as an actor, I thought Daniel Day-Lewis was too British, too cerebral for me, but as I, kind of age, and I think as he got better, he improved. He, later on, I think, when he was in his 40s, 50s, that's when you started seeing some very physical, you look at the physical work in the journey of Daniel Plainview physically, subtly, economically. It is a titanic performance by Daniel Day-Lewis. There Will Be Blood. Another Daniel Day-Lewis film. Boom. Gangs in New York. Not a big fan of the film. I don't like the film. What I like is Bill the Butcher. Again, another amazingly physical performance that just the nuance, the subtlety, the ability to take dialogue that's in a script and make it so much your own. It was just amazing. Just completely like a transformative experience for any actor watching another master work. And you could see DiCaprio was flailing at his side because, I mean, come on, man. DiCaprio was no match. I'm telling it like it is for Daniel Day-Lewis. Heck, I even thought someone who kind of rose to Daniel Day-Lewis's kind of level was the female actress. Oh my God, I can't believe Cameron Diaz. Where I thought she was up for it, up to kind of spar, acting wise with Daniel Day-Lewis. DiCaprio, he was drowning or he was, the shadow that Lewis cast in that film. There was DiCaprio right over here. Okay. Last Tango in Paris. Marlon Brando. If you want to talk about a very revealing, almost autobiographical purging of the soul, Bernardo Bertolucci's film that takes place in Paris, very erotic, very sensual, very almost matter-of-fact, in your face, dealing with this expat, Brando's character in Paris, in this sensual, hedonistic fling he has with this younger woman, but it's also very revealing of Brando, especially at that time. I think Brando was, after the 50s, Brando in the 60s was, he was like, everyone would say he was washed up, box office failure, blah, blah, blah. And then you have this film, and then he did this film, I think Apocalypse Now, which is another great one, by the way. And also Godfather, of course, and it kind of resurrected his career. But this film, Last Tango in Paris, the performance by any actor, I mean, very revealing, very raw. There you go. That's a great way to put it. Very raw. Unforgettable. Another Brando, since we're speaking of Brando, A Streetcar Named Desire. Not a big fan of the film, not a big fan of the play. I'm not a big fan of Tennessee Williams. But Brando's performance was revolutionary in that you saw this young Brando, not the Brando. So you see the Brando of Last Tango and the early Brando. This is like a young god who, with the instincts, the raw sexual energy, the slurring, the incomprehensibility, again, highly physical, raw, just instinctual, like a freaking animal. And he revolutionized film acting with a performance like this. He just kind of burst it all, apart. He broke it all up. And, the generation, we think about Pacino, De Niro, all these folks, who they were heavily admired and were influenced by Marlon Brando, especially the work in Streetcar Named Desire. Okay. Al Pacino, Donnie Brasco. Look, Pacino's an amazing stage and film actor. He's had a long career. He's still going strong. But of all the work, of all the films that he has done and the characters that he has played, this one was truly a magnificent performance. And why? It was heartbreaking. It was subtle. It was funny. He was funny as hell as Lefty, Donnie Brasco's kind of sidekick, or whatever you want to call him. These were wise guys, and Lefty, the character that Pacino played, was, just like a wise guy trying to make ends meet, and Pacino played him beautifully. It was a quiet performance by Pacino, which I loved. The director really worked beautifully with kind of reining him in a little bit. But you saw also the comedic aspect that Pacino can bring to films. And it's one of the great performances. Bowfinger, Eddie Murphy's performance. He played two. There's Chip, the crazy Hollywood star, and then his brother, Jefferson. And I'm talking about Jefferson, but I admire even the range Murphy showed, but I'm talking about a great comedic character. Look, Eddie Murphy is a great character actor, ladies and gentlemen. If you have never seen Bowfinger and seen Eddie Murphy as Jefferson, this is one of the great this great character work on character you've ever seen by an actor. Just flawless, just amazing, just beautiful. Hats off Eddie Murphy, Jefferson, pièce de la résistance. Wonderful. Another comic masterpiece and one of the great performances of all time, Sacha Baron Cohen, Borat. Look, I mean, come on. This was, I don't know how this did not win a Best Actor Oscar. I mean, it is completely, when you're talking about working on character, a specific character, also comic. Look, comedy's tough, ladies and gentlemen. And to work on something that's so just precise, so funny, so true, so physical. This is a performance for the ages. Borat. I'm talking about the first one, the original one. Like, hats off. This was one of the great performances of all time. Sacha Baron Cohen, Borat, amazing work. And last but certainly not least, to round out the top 10 here, is Hannibal. Gary Oldman, one of the great actors of this or any generation. His work as the deformed paraplegic Mason Verger. I mean, you can't even recognize Gary Oldman. It's like you're looking, don't take this the wrong way, you're looking at like this Elephant Man-esque character, Mason Verger, yet you're talking still in a wheelchair or in a bed. And this was just an astounding, captivating, grotesque, horrific performance by the incomparable Gary Oldman. Gary Oldman, ladies and gentlemen, is one of the great actors. Like I always thought, no matter what, as I, was studying and training and doing theater and film and, soaking it all up, believe you me, I saw dozens of Gary Oldman films. And this one is the pinnacle of so many great performances that he had. But there are many others. You just look up any of his films. The Contender, State of Grace, the Joe Orton film, I forgot the name of it, where he played the playwright Joe Orton with another great actor, Alfred Molina. You got to watch that one. Anyway, those are the top 10 film performances. BAZ'S top 10 film performances. Peace. Tasty.